Yeah, I love the lessons, because you're very reflective on your experiences and what you've been through, and you talk about what you've learned and how, the unhealed versions of yourselves are, you know would react to certain things in certain ways, and you are continuously working to unlearn some of those things. What prompted you to get tested?
I was pregnant at the time. I was pregnant, and I then needed to know what was my status, because if I did not know, then I was certainly going to put my unborn at greater risk. I had never tested before in my life. I had never tested. I had been one of
How
those
old were
people
you?
who was like, I was 22. I was 22, and I had never tested before, and I had committed my life to never testing. I was like, never going to test. I'll find out if I have HIV on my deathbed when they test me and
Yeah, I
I'm
don't want to
sick.
know.
I was one of those, like, count me out. I'm not being part of this. So, yeah, I had to now get tested because of the pregnancy, obviously. And yeah, it was hard. It was hard to hear the news, but I was determined to walk out of the doctor's office like a champion. Like, I just got an HIV negative result. I was determined to walk out there like a boss. And I did, and I only cried when I got to my place where I was staying, because I didn't want
Mm.
people to look at me and assume something was wrong with me. So I pretended that I was fine. Even the doctor asked me, "Did you hear what I just said?" And I was like, "Yeah, I heard you." He's like, "What did I say?" And I said, My results are reactive for HIV. So that means I'm HIV positive." He's like, "Oh, you don't need to worry about it." And I was determined to be stronger than the doctor, actually. Like, "Nah, doc, I got this. Don't worry about it." But inside, sure, my heart broke into a million pieces. My heart broke into a million pieces. I was shattered. I was broken. I was hurt. I was screaming. I was yelling. I was kicking. I was broken inside. But outside, this is what you saw, like, "I got this stuff. Don't worry about it. HIV positive, it's okay. Don't stress about it. It's fine. Thousands and millions, if not billions of people are going through this thing. Don't stress about it. I got it." And I walked out of there like a person who has it. Meanwhile, inside, I was like, "Find me the next
Yeah.
train station, put me on the rail, and let it just run over me," because I felt like my life was over. Felt like my life was over. I had given myself 3 months to live. So I'd like been in that very depressed state. And unfortunately, life had to go on because I also needed to start medication. So I had to start medication, AZT, to protect myself from vertical transmission. So I did that. And it was hard to do it because I didn't have access to information technology, and ARVs were not easily accessible. And I'll still also be very afraid of being known that I have it, because I didn't want the stigma to fall onto me. And also being pregnant and alone, because I had run away from home. I had run away from home because they didn't want the pregnancy. This is another thing that I talk about, but my family doesn't want me to talk about, because they didn't want me to have the baby. They preferred for me to have an abortion. So I ran away because I didn't want to have an abortion. So I was living on my own. When I went to give birth, I was alone. As you see me today, it was just
Wow.
me. Yeah. And yeah, so it was very it was very hard, but I pushed through. I pushed through because life became no longer about me now, but the life that I was carrying inside. So everything now just transformed. Like, it just was like took a twist, because even though I had wanted to commit suicide badly, desperately, and having thought of all the ways to do it perfectly, I was still going to be accountable for the life inside of me.
Yeah.
And I was very afraid of that. I was very afraid of dying and then finding out that God was unhappy with my decision. Imagine you didn't only kill yourself, you killed somebody else. So it's like double the death, and you killed somebody who was not even involved in this. They didn't have the power to make the decision because they're in the belly, so they don't have the power to say, "Don't kill me, please." They still need to be born and still need to go on with life. So he was born, and he changed my life completely. He changed my life completely for the best.
Aw.
Yeah, he's the best thing
How
that
old is
as
he?
he's 15. He's 15. He's born in October. And yo, he's the most amazing, amazing child ever. He's taller than me. He's in high school now. Taller, we love each other very, very much. We have a very close and very strong bond. And he's so intelligent, he's so wise, and he's so kind. I think he'll be a beautiful addition. Like, I'm trying very hard to instill discipline and good male values in him, so that he can be the man that a lot of us women, are praying for our daughters, a healed man, a sensitive man, a kind man, a gentle man, one who is soft at heart, but
Yes.
is self-aware, of not only himself, but the environment around him. So he's very much walking in that direction from what I can see.
Oh,
Obviously, he's a teenager, so not perfect. He still loves a lot of the things that are on mainstream. So you'll find him making TikTok videos like he's some hip hop superstar, wearing a bandana and doing all those things, dance
yeah.
moves and whatnot. I encourage positivity, but I also tell him, you need to be careful of the things you watch on social media. Not all these people you idolize, you be careful. Don't follow just blindly anything. And he's like, yeah, yeah, mom, I got it, I got it. You know what I mean?
That
Even with
age, they think they know
relationships, yeah.
everything.
Yeah, even with relationships, I tried advice. I'm just like, no, mama, I'm doing my own thing. I got this. And I'm like, okay, okay, fine. Fine, I give you your independence, you got this, but I'm here at the end of the day, you don't have to be stuck with something complex and not really know how to deal with it. I'm still here. So I'm trying very hard in raising
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like you're doing a great job. There's something
So
very
far it's
special
working
about
out.
mothers and their sons. It's a beautiful relationship. And so when they begin to get older, then there's kind of like a little bit of a battle between the wills.
Yeah, you see, it's kind of like now he's at that stage where he's like, I love you, mom, but there's also this other girl that I love more than you right now. So
You have to remind me, after all those girls come and go, I will still be here.
yeah.
Oh my, oh my. So let me ask you the question that we all want to know. How did HIV save your life?
Because it was my wake up call. It was my wake up call. It was the resounding bell. It was that alarm bell that was like, wake up, girl, from your dreamy state. Because remember, I was on this drunken spree, clubs, and avoiding all these things. And now that I knew that I was positive, everything in my life changed for the
Mm.
better. For the better, because it was my awakening. It was my waking up call. It was like that moment for me to oh my gosh, something really big has happened to me. I have this thing now, and I'm going to die very soon. And nothing wakes you up like knowing that you're going to die very soon. Nothing wakes you up because now you don't have 80 years anymore in your mind, or in my mind back then. It's like, I'm not going to be 80. I'm going to see my grandchildren. I'm not even going to see 2 years from now. I'm going to be gone in 2 years. So
Yes.
for me, it was like, if I am going to live for 3 months, then it better be the best 3 months of my life. I better just push. I better just do everything that I had intended to do, seeing as I'm not going to be around long enough to like do it in the years that I had thought I would do it in. Because now I had a shorter time to live. So I thought to myself, if I have less than 5 years to live, that's going to be the best less than 5 years of my life. I'm going to go and do every single thing that I had wanted to do, and I'm not going to wait. So then that's how the magic then started to happen. I went back to school to finish my journalism. And I then was so passionate to go out there and be like in media houses and being everywhere, like, film photography things, just being a part of things like interacting with my life, feeling, existing and breathing and being alive. And it's led me to be who I am today. And I think that's where the saved my life thing came from, because what was meant to be a death sentence was actually a lifeline for me. And I've used
Wow,
what was
that's
meant to
powerful.
be. Yes, I've used something that was meant to be a death sentence. I've used it as a lifeline. It has actually been the thing that has made me to hold on to life, because now I gave birth to my child, and then I still couldn't commit to suicide because now I needed to look after the child. And now he inspired me. I wanted to see him in primary. And when I saw him in primary, I wanted to see him at high school. And now it's at high school. Like, I want to see him at university. I want to see, I want to be involved. I want to see what he does with his life. Those things then like kept me going. But now I wasn't just sitting around waiting for him to grow and be in primary and high school and university. My life was also happening. And there were things that I was like, okay, I can still pursue my life. I had originally wanted to do fine arts. That's what I'm passionate about, and maybe I'll still do that. I want to do either fine arts or communications, so I'm still like working out what options are available to me. And you know, it's it's being able to turn your pain into power that saved me. It's being able to turn your pain into power, turning my pain into power, and turning my scars into stars, and using that myself as a mirror reflection for others, to help others to also heal, to be empowered, to overcome, to survive, to keep going. And we are still growing.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love when you said what was meant to be, how did you worded it so perfectly. What was supposed to be a death sentence ended up being a
Became my
lifeline.
lifeline. Yes.
That's so beautiful because, this is what I believe. I believe that all of the obstacles that we go through are there, they're there to serve us. We don't
Yeah,
realize it at the
true.
time, right? But
True.
because we look at it and we focus on the negative aspects of those things. But if we flip it around and look at the positive things that come from that, we would really be able to view so much more positivity in the negative things that happen. So I love that you said that, and that's what your view is.
Thank you. Yeah, for me that was it basically. It was just like about transforming the negative into a positive, and really going with it, because they were then became because it started out with, okay, I want to live long enough to give birth, and then I did give
Yeah.
birth, and then I wanted to live long enough for my child to at least go to primary, and then I did live long enough to see my child into primary, and then I was like, no man, I still exist, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, and I still can do more with my life. And then I started out implementing those things and doing it in small steps, and then small steps become huge leaps, and before you know it, you're flying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about
Has
being
it affected?
passionate and patient with yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Has that affected your personal relationships? Like, have you lost some friends because of
Oh
it?
yeah.
And even, like romantic relationships. does it play a part? Have you found that it's kind of a little harder to navigate those relationships because of your status?
Yes, I've lost a lot of friends. I've definitely lost a lot of friends. It used to hurt me in the beginning, but now I love it because I love my own company and I prefer not to have a lot of people in my life. Like I have a
Yeah.
very, very small circle of people that I will call friends right now. And we talk from time to time. We see each other every once in a while. We good. So yeah. And then relationships, I've been celibate for like over 3 years. I've been celibate over 3 years because I then decided to just focus on myself and work on myself because just the writing part, it was the tipping point, and then there was a lot of other internal work that needed to be done. So I've not yet been in a relationship yet. I don't know because I don't know, maybe I just haven't met with somebody or it just hasn't aligned yet or it's not part of God's plan yet. Or also because I've now managed to refine what I am looking for in a partner and also realizing that I have to match that energy, or
Hmm.
like we have to be aligned, we have to balance each other out. So I have not been in a space where I've met that person or they've met me and then we have decided to be in a relationship. Although I do feel like I am open towards it, but I also am patient enough to allow God to make it happen because I see a lot of the old patterns and I'm
Mm.
releasing them. And now I'm stepping into like the new me because now when you're talking about a relationship for me now, you're talking about a long-term commitment, not just like something that's going to be up in smoke within the next 3 months or 6 months. So that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work because there's a lot of value in that. And there's also the understanding that um, it may lead into a marriage situation. And now, when you're talking about marriage, you are now linking families. You're becoming part of somebody's family, and their family is also becoming part of yours. And mine is a little like, you know, and that now it's not like walking in the park type of vibes. It's like awareness, wisdom, intelligence, and compassion and love, and all things beautiful and nice. So, because of I understand how big of a blessing it is, so I'm patiently like in that space of like, okay, God, I accept that you might feel that I'm worthy of this blessing. I manifest it into my life as well. And I'm also taking the time to be working on myself while you are still busy preparing that gift for me. So that
Yes.
whenever it is time for it to arrive, I'm aligned and I'm in perfect balance and healing with this person so that I don't bring my past traumas into this because he's definitely going to be doing things that might upset me. So I need to deal with those things in a healed perspective and not say, oh, but remember your boyfriend from 20 years ago? He did the exact same thing. So now this one is also doing the same thing. You need, nah.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like doing the internal work, knowing that I have a lot of internal work to do, a lot of adjustments that I need to make in my life, and also preparing myself, healing myself, working on myself on a daily, praying for the kind of partner that I want, praying that it's in alignment to God's will for my life, so
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
when it happens, it's like a beautiful manifestation, and we are both healed, we are both ready, and we're both committed to each other, and there's no insecurities, and any traumas we may have, we work through it, and whatever else comes through, we work through it towards like certain goals that we have for each other collectively or individually. So for me, that's like where it is right now. So it has nothing to do for me with whether I have HIV or not. I don't feel like I'll be judged for it. I don't feel like I'll be judged for it. It's there, and now being public about it, it also gives me the freedom for people to know about it before they step into my life. So I don't feel like
Yeah.
it will be like an issue, but I just feel like just the other work that needs to be done,
Yeah.
then I'm busy doing that, and also praying a lot that when it does happen, then it happens in a time when we are both ready for it to happen. And then when we move forward together, we move together holistically, in a way
Yeah.
whereby we embrace each other in a healthy way.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that because
Yeah.
I think when we are younger, we're not really intentional about relationships. It's all about, oh,
Oh,
I like this person, they like me back. So,
let's
but
just
there's
vibe.
so,
Let's go with the flow. He looks
yeah, yeah.
good. He smells good. Ah.
Yeah, but now when we become more mature and we have these life experiences, we realize that there's so much intention that needs to be put
Mm,
into the right relationship, right? Like there's so much
mm,
work that we need to do. And I'm a firm believer, oftentimes people get into relationships, they haven't done the work, and
mm.
so their personal issues end up becoming issues in their relationship, and it has nothing to do with the relationship. It has to do with, it's an individual matter, and so they
Yeah.
bring all these things into relationships, and then the relationship is doomed because of that. So I love the fact that you are taking time out and saying, you know what, I'm going to take this time, let's do some surgery, let's fix some things, let me work on me, so that when that person arrives, when God brings that person into my life, I'm ready.
Yes, I think that is like very, very important, and I try and like share it as much as possible, with young people that I come across. Because, when you're young, you're so impressionable. You like
Yeah,
how he dresses or how she dresses. Oh, they smell
we're born in
good.
the same month.
Oh, we share the same
All
birthday.
these
It's
super
clearly
show,
meant to
yes,
be. Oh gosh, the smile, and you're just vibing. They call it vibing these days. Oh, you're just
vibing,
vibing.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, it's just
exactly.
vibes. It's just vibes. It's just vibes. And those vibes have consequences. Some people fall pregnant from those vibes. Some people infect each other with HIV from those vibes. Some people catch STDs, other STDs. So vibes are very consequential, and that not being intentional. Also because sometimes you can have the thing that you'll be mature like when you are 25. You don't have to be 25 to be mature. You don't have to wait until you're 35. You can be wise at 16. You can actually decide to be very intentional from like a very young age, and you can choose to walk away from people, things, and places that don't serve you. You can actually choose that for yourself. So I only realized that later on. And like now, because I'm like old, I'm like, how I wish I was me, like when I was 18. Imagine if I had decided that I'm going to go on a 3-year break and I'm not going to date anybody for 3 years, and I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to go to therapy and I'm going to work on my trauma. I would have been like Oprah's neighbor by now. I would have been living next door. I would
But it's so
have.
true because these relationships, they drag us. When it's the wrong relationship, it will drag you down so emotionally. And that's where I think, as a culture, as a people, we don't put enough focus on our emotional well-being.
True, true, very much.
Oh,
And I
goodness.
think in the black society as well, we don't get such platforms. We don't get to talk about such things. Because they don't have a platform. So we need more platforms, especially for young people. Young people must take
Yeah.
up leadership. They must be put in paid positions of leadership. They must take up
Mhm.
spaces. And they must be empowered. Because they are the future.
Yeah, for sure. So when he does come into your life, be sure to come back and tell us about it. Because we want to hear the story.
I will, I will, I will. I'll drop snippets of it. You might
Snippets,
just see
yeah.
like you'll see a picture of a hand
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. Yeah. Well, can you hold up your book and tell us where we can find it?
Um, in every bookstore around South Africa, every bookstore around South Africa, it is there. All the bookstores that you can think of here in South Africa. If you're thinking of a bookstore right now, exclusive, bargain, any way that you think where they sell books, you will find it. It's selling at 250 rand per copy.
Okay.
There.
Okay, that's very, very reasonably priced. So if people are international, because we do have an international audience, how can they get their hands on the book?
It's available because all these bookstores, like if you Google it online, they have online and then they have a way of like facilitating it. But I've been also considering putting it on Amazon because now there's been more of a demand for it. So I've been putting it. I'm considering putting it on Amazon and setting up like that process. Because the thing is, you have to also be aware that I'm independent, so all of the work has been done independently. The
Wait,
publishing.
wait. My goodness. So how did you then get it into bookstores then?
I did a lot of research. And then I found a list of distribution companies, and they had written to me because I would spend a lot of time online researching how to do this, how do I get this, and sending emails and receiving some of those emails back. And one of those emails that I received back was a list of distributors that are recognized in South Africa. Because you don't just go there and say, "Hey, here's my product, get it on your shelf."
Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't do that. They have a list of recognized distributors. And I want to call Black people, especially, to take up spaces because a lot of the companies that I saw on that list are white owned. And
Mm.
for me, it's problematic in the sense that we don't have a lot of Black people being in there. And that, for me, is a gap in the market that we need to just be aware of and to try and find a way around that so as to be able to support each other. Yeah, so I found a distribution company, and they sent me the contract. I read the contract. It was very basic. It was very simple. I read the contract. I signed it. We came into an agreement. And then, voila, we have the product in all
Very
the bookstores
nice.
in South Africa.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That is
Thank
the
you.
huge accomplishment.
Very, very much. Yo, for me, I'm very, very proud. I'm very proud of this work. I'm very proud to have persevered, to have endured all of the hardship, all of the pain, and to come out independently with a product like this, and to be proud enough to say that you can find me everywhere in SA. Like you can Google, you can do anything, and you'll find
Yeah.
me. That's power
Yeah.
right there. So it's a power that I'm happy to share with others, and I'm very proud of this. And as soon as I have it on Amazon, I'm gonna be launching the campaign of all of that. That now it's in Amazon because you see, being somebody like me who comes from a poverty background, I don't have financial backing as well, so I have to work first. I have to do work and get paid. And then with the money that I get paid, I have to look after myself, I have to look after my child, and then I have to look after the needs of my work. So it's very like detailed work. And also in that I have to prioritize my mental health because that's also very important because you can be so overwhelmed in the overthinking aspect of it, like, oh, where am I going to get this? I need to get that. Oh, I need to do this. Oh my god, people are
Yeah.
waiting for me out there. Oh my gosh, I said on that interview that I put it on Amazon, I haven't done it, and it's now 2 months later. Oh my gosh, so you need to like pace yourself. So I've not had a lot of support. And this is something that I was saying to the distributors yesterday as well, when I sent them an email, and I was like, my challenge is that I've not had support. Everything that I'm doing it on my own. So there's no financial, like, wealthy uncle that I'm gonna go to who's gonna sign me a 200,000 check for me to do my things. I have to work like other people work 9 to 5. I work for ICW Global. I manage their social media accounts, and they pay me for doing that. So with the salary that I get from them, I need to make sure that my child's needs are met, my needs are met, and then the needs of my work are also met. So that may mean that sometimes this month I have to do like half of the work because possibly that's how much money I'm able to invest at that particular time. And then another month, then I finish up the investment, because all of these things are looking up at me, so it's not gonna be like the easiest thing. And these are the things that I happily tell people that come up to me and they ask me, because for them they see like the finished product and they're so proud of me. They're like, you are the star, you've done the things, you've made it. And I'm like, there's still so much more for me to achieve. There's still quite a lot more that I have not done. I still face quite a lot of challenges that I'm like bravely overcoming step by step. But I need to be realistic with you because these are some of the challenges that I've come across, and possibly you might also have them as well. So this is the kind of preparedness that you need to have, that as you go along your journey, this might be, things that you may come across. And don't be thinking that, I've just written this beautiful manuscript and then they're gonna happily snap you up, and then tomorrow you're famous, and then next thing you live in a mansion.
It
For a lot
doesn't
of us,
work
it
that
doesn't
way.
quite,
No,
doesn't
no.
quite work that way.
Yeah. Well, I am definitely going to be praying that your book reaches all the corners of the earth, because it's something that people need to read about. There's some element
Thank
of
you.
your book, and just what you've shared with me today, there's an element that people can relate to. It may not be the HIV part, maybe it's not the gender-based violence, but many people have been through something that you have been through, because you've been through a lot. And so I know how difficult it is to create content, and I do it, as part of the weight she carries. Creating content, it takes up a lot of time, and being able to having to do all these various things, graphics and this and that and this. It's like you're a jack of all trades.
It's hard,
It's
especially
tough.
if you don't have
It's
support and you're a woman and you're a mother, and there's a lot of responsibility within
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and you have like a
yeah.
big audience of people who like not even mindful of all your responsibilities. They just want to see content on a daily basis, regardless of like whatever
It's
you might be
tough.
going through. So it's really
Yeah.
very painful sometimes.
It's really hard, but I just feel like you are, on the verge of breaking through into something that you have not even imagined for yourself. Because I believe everything that we go through, we look at Joseph's stories. We have plenty of examples in the Bible of people who had difficult journeys. But then it's kind of like when we see Joseph, it's like one minute he's in the prison, the next minute he's being promoted to being second in charge in Egypt. And so oftentimes God gives us these suddenly moments, like all of a sudden it just, like, things clear up, and now you're just in this completely different realm of life that you never imagined for yourself. So that's something that I pray for you, that you get to experience
Thank
that,
you.
because you definitely have a story that that God is not finished yet, and that
Thank you.
the greatest things in your lives are yet to come. So thank you so much for sharing. We're going to transition to some questions just for people to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Um, so I'm going to pull up the questions here. See here. All right. So, can you remember the last thing that you ate today?
What did I eat today? I had burger and salad in the
Burger and
afternoon.
salad.
Mm.
Okay. What type of burger was it?
It's beef. Is it a beef hamburger?
Okay,
Beef
okay.
hamburger with tomato, mayonnaise, lettuce, and some cucumbers and things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. What is your favorite beauty product?
Mascara. I cannot live without mascara. I need to give myself new mascara. Like I use this brand. Okay, so I'm not supposed to be advertising them, but like I cannot live with our mascara, and then um, this called a slip thing that I use on my lips. Constant Beauty. My friend sells it. So she would kill me if I didn't speak about it. Yeah, like God, we had an international platform and you didn't pull me on, and I'll make your lips so fabulous. So without these two things, I cannot. I'm not a makeup person, but definitely I need mascara and some lips, lip juice for my lips. This
Yes,
is how
yes,
like I make
yes.
it through life.
Cool. So if you are late for a meeting and it's an important meeting, you're going to meet Oprah. Okay, it's that important,
My dream.
and you are running late, and so there's something that you have to forego in your morning routine in order to make it there on time. What would that thing be?
It would definitely be coffee. I would have to miss out on my coffee. I mean, nothing is as important to me as having coffee in the morning, like to like reflect my thoughts. Coffee in the morning is always, always, always ideal. I'm a coffee person. So yeah, I'll have coffee in the morning. So if I could forego that, like for Oprah, like I would
For
just like
Oprah.
stop my entire afternoon and be like, we're going.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
sacrifice
because
that coffee for
I
Oprah.
admire her a lot.
Yeah. What is your a typical day like for you?
Um, Wake up, make the bed, make coffee, and
Well, what time do you
clean up
wake
the
up? Do you have a
space.
set time?
No, I don't have a set time. I'm not a morning person though, I'll tell you that for free. I'm not a morning person at all. So I try and wake up as late as possible. But it also depends on the work that I have at hand, like depends on the deadlines that I have. So yeah, and I'm a work junkie. So mostly I'm sitting behind a laptop and I'm doing some work. If I'm not doing that, then I'm on a solo date with myself. I love solo dates. I'll go take myself out, go and drink coffee and have a nice meal somewhere. Um, just like do that and then check on my socials. Check on my socials, what's going on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. That's I have a very boring life, I think.
But it suits you just fine. Like you love your life the
Yeah,
way it is. So
yeah,
that's what
very
matters.
much. Yeah.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is coming up next month, actually. Born on the 17th of April. So it's coming up next month. And I've
Ah.
been like wondering what I'm going to do with myself. You know, there's always that pressure that you have to like show up with big balloons, carrying this big.
The
I don't know.
balloons, yep.
I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet because I'm so introverted, man. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. And I already take myself out. So I don't know how else to make the day feel more special. I'll see closer to the day. I've asked my friend to bake me a cake. So I'm hoping that she's going to be off work during that time because she has a job where she's a chef. She cooks for
Mm.
a big production company for one of the soapies. I don't know which soapy it is here in South Africa. She's part of the crew that's cooking there, so she's usually very tired
Wow.
and she's always busy. So I'm hoping that she will have time in that schedule to bake me a cake and maybe we can sit together and eat cake and then I don't know, connect, talk, and that will be the day. I think I don't know. I have no special plans for it.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
What is your least favorite house chore?
Any house chore is my least favorite, if I'm being honest with you. Seriously.
I think that's the best answer I've heard for that question.
If I can avoid it, I will.
I hear you. It's a waste of time, isn't it?
You know, don't
We have
understand
better
why we
things to
must.
do.
Telling you, like, save the world.
Yes. Ah, that's funny. What would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
What is a pet peeve? Something that I don't like?
Something you don't like, something that usually other people do that gets on your nerves.
Lies. I
Mm,
absolutely hate lies. Lies are my pet peeve. Do not lie. Like, just don't do it. Like, don't like lies. Be honest with me. Trust me enough to make an informed decision for myself. Give me that liberty. Don't lie to me. I hate lies completely. Lies are my pet peeves.
mm,
And don't steal. Just ask if you want or need something. Don't steal. Don't steal. Like, I hate theft and I hate lies. Those are just like two things that are like, ugh.
yeah, yeah. So, the last question, what are you most proud of? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very proud
And
of
that looks
myself
like
for that.
a thick book because for you to get through that, how many pages are in it?
Yeah. 354.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot.
That shows the level of commitment to be able to write all the way through.
Yeah, because once you start, you also can't stop in the middle because it keeps nagging you to just keep on doing, and then you have to until it's done, and then you like looking at it and you're like, whew, I'm done. Hmm. So yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Well, congratulations again on becoming the woman who you are today. I mean,
thank you.
oftentimes people who have been through things, the things that you have been through, and without the support, without family rallying around you to kind of lift you up in those tough moments, the fact that you're able to show up each day and continue to do what you're doing and putting your story out there and being that person who people can look to and say, oh my goodness, if she could make it, I can make it too. That is such a huge accomplishment in and of itself. So thank you for being you. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for being one of the women who is really on the front lines when it comes to creating change, when it comes to the narrative of our African stories. Because we need stories like yours. We need people who are willing to show and say, look, this is what I've been through. This is my life. And I'm unashamed. I'm unapologetically me. So thank you for being that.
Thank you as well for sharing your platform with me, having me on the platform, and introducing me to your contacts and your network, and allowing me to share the story to empower other women. It takes empowered women to empower other women, you know.
Yeah.
So that for me is really very beautiful. And I'm also grateful that HIV helped in transforming my life to be the woman that I am right now, that
Yeah.
is able to add value and have input and have such a strong contribution within spaces, be it with HIV or creativity, entrepreneurship, leadership, empowerment. I'm very, very deeply grateful. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Take
so
care.
much. You
Take
too.
care.
Okay. You too. Bye bye.